He was the least capable adventurer, trapped on the dungeon's initial level. However, after defeating 1,000 slimes, he discovered an incredibly rare card capable of summoning the most powerful servant. Kaido, a young adventurer trapped in the dungeon's labyrinthine depths, found himself facing off against a common slime. With a confident flick of his wrist, he unleashed a cloud of bug killer spray, vanquishing the creature with ease. His pride swelled. 2 years had passed since he first entered this perilous realm, yet his rank remained abysmal, barely scraping by as an explorer, confined to the dungeon's first floor where only slimes dared to dwell. His relentless pursuit of these gelatinous foes had yielded a staggering 999 slain, and today, Kaido was determined to achieve a momentous milestone: 1,000 vanquished slimes. He ventured deeper into the dungeon's maw, where fate presented him with a golden slime, a rare specimen indeed. Kaido stealthily crept closer, his trusty spray gun ready. The golden slime, however, proved agile, dodging his initial attack. Undeterred, Kaido unleashed a barrage from his spray gun, finally sealing its fate. A strange unease settled upon him as he realized he hadn't leveled up despite slaying such a rare creature. Driven by curiosity and the potential for profit, he collected the golden slime's magic core. But as he reached down, his eyes fell upon a gleaming card nestled beside the shimmering core, a servant card. His heart pounded with anticipation. This was no ordinary find. He scanned its stats, confirming his suspicions. It was something truly extraordinary. Casting wary glances around to ensure he wasn't observed by envious adventurers, Kaido delved into the card's details. The database held no information about this particular type of servant. Yet, a glimmering image of a Valkyrie, a mythical demigoddess, filled his mind. Could this be a rare card, one of immense power? As he cautiously navigated the dungeon's corridors, he encountered a group of seasoned explorers, their equipment gleaming in the dim light. Kaido attempted to greet them, but they brushed past him with nonchalant indifference. A pang of envy pierced him. He longed to possess such advanced gear. He envisioned selling the Valkyrie card for an exorbitant sum, a windfall that would allow him to purchase all the equipment his heart desired. At the dungeon's entrance, the receptionist, Hitsugaya, paid him 1,500 yen for the 3 slime cores he had collected. Before departing, Kaido inquired about the value of an angel-type servant card, a question met with stunned silence before Hitsugaya revealed its staggering worth: over 1 billion yen. The revelation left Kaido speechless. This card was a treasure beyond his wildest dreams. He ran into his old friends, Shinji and Hayato, who boasted explorer passes granting them free access to the dungeon's attractions. They inquired about his level, reminding him that he was still stuck at level 3, eternally confined to battling slimes. Kaido confided in them that he had no interest in leaving this familiar ground, despite their past attempts to venture beyond the first floor. They recounted their harrowing encounter with a goblin on the second floor, a battle that quickly turned disastrous, forcing them to rely on healing potions before retreating in defeat. Their surprise at Kaido's unwavering dedication to slaying slimes for 2 years was palpable. They questioned what fueled his persistent obsession, but Kaido remained tight-lipped, guarding his secrets close. Back at home, Kaido's parents were concerned that his dungeon exploring might interfere with his studies. However, he reassured them everything was fine. As he soaked in a hot bath, Kaido pondered using the mysterious card he possessed. He imagined it unlocking deeper levels of the dungeon and granting him unimaginable power. Yet, he knew selling the card would bring him immense wealth, enough to buy anything he desired. The next day, Kaido bumped into his classmate Katsuragi on his way to school. They walked together, chatting about their lives. Katsuragi mentioned noticing him returning home late and questioned his whereabouts. Kaido lied, claiming he had been exploring the city with friends, trying to keep his dungeon adventures a secret. They encountered Shinji and Hayato, 2 of Kaido's classmates. He quickly pulled them aside, asking them to cover for him if Katsuragi inquired further about his late nights. When Katsuragi asked them what they did the previous day, their conflicting stories raised her suspicion that Kaido might be venturing into the dungeon. Despite her hints, Kaido maintained his innocence. During class, Kaido initiated a conversation about rare servant cards, asking his friends what they would do if they found one. They dismissed the card's value, suggesting it was useless outside the dungeon and should be sold for its fortune. He considered their advice, but knew he couldn't sell the card once he summoned the servant. His desire to become stronger battled with the potential riches the card represented. Unable to resist the allure of power, Kaido ventured into the dungeon and activated the mysterious card. A colossal angel materialized before him, ready to strike. However, it vanished in an instant, transforming into a young girl who introduced herself as Sylphie. Disappointed by her seemingly frail appearance, Kaido regretted his decision, thinking he had missed out on becoming a billionaire. Sylphie sensed his displeasure and inquired about his well-being. He assured her he was fine and took her with him to hunt monsters. Her keen senses immediately detected a nearby slime. He watched as Sylphie effortlessly eliminated it with her powerful divine lightning spell. Kaido was stunned by her overwhelming strength, learning that she possessed an impressive battle score of 170, making her 17 times stronger than him. Sylphie expressed her hunger, revealing her desire to consume the slime's core. Kaido obliged, feeding it to her. She sensed more slimes and prepared to attack them, but Kaido intervened, realizing he wouldn't earn any money if she devoured their cores after defeating them. He devised a plan, asking Sylphie to guide him to the slimes so he could eliminate them himself with his spray. Finally leveling up, Kaido acquired a new skill called Slime Slayer, which boosted his stats by 50% when battling slimes. Despite the significant improvement, he felt it was insignificant. Sylphie encouraged him, reminding him that learning a new skill was a major accomplishment. Her words moved Kaido to tears, despite himself. He prepared to return home but promised Sylphie they would meet again soon. With a final command, he ordered her back into the card and bid her farewell. Kaido visited Hitsugaya, who was amazed by the number of slime cores he had brought back. She explained it was a record for the most slimes hunted in a single day and revealed they were worth 15,000 yen each. That night, Kaido thought about Sylphie's incredible strength. He believed with her help, he could reach the second floor of the dungeon, but the thought of facing a goblin filled him with fear. As he drifted to sleep, he dreamed of Captain Katsuragi, a legendary hero who ventured deep into the dungeons to uncover its secrets. People revered him for his courage and wisdom. The next day, Kaido headed to the second floor with Sylphie, determined to learn the truth about the dungeons and become like Captain Katsuragi. Suddenly, he started trembling uncontrollably. Sylphie noticed something was wrong, but Kaido reassured her he was fine. Holding her hand calmed him down, and he expressed his gratitude. He remembered venturing onto the second floor 2 years ago, but Sylphie suddenly sensed a goblin nearby. He began to run, but then thought of Captain Katsuragi, realizing that true heroes couldn't be afraid. To boost his courage, Kaido started slapping himself, much to Sylphie's confusion. He explained he was simply trying to psych himself up. They carefully approached the goblin, and Kaido asked Sylphie to defeat it, as he lacked the courage to face it alone. She prepared to unleash her divine lightning, but Kaido changed his mind, wanting to fight it himself. However, his legs started shaking again, so he told Sylphie to help him if things looked bad. He swung at the goblin, missing his target. The goblin charged, forcing Kaido to raise his shield, pushing it back. Another swing missed, and the goblin disarmed him, lunging forward. He blinded it with his spray, grabbed his sword, and prepared for the final blow. He tripped on a stone, but accidentally plunged his sword into the goblin, ending the fight. Overwhelmed with emotion, Kaido was about to cry when Sylphie told him he was amazing. She admitted, though, that she would probably step in next time. He leveled up, surprised that killing 1,000 slimes hadn't done anything, but defeating just one goblin had. He learned a new skill called Goblin Slayer, awarded to those who overcome their fear of goblins and defeat one on their own. This skill increased his stats by 10% when fighting goblins, although it was temporary because he got lucky during the fight. They continued hunting goblins, and Kaido's stats steadily improved. He wondered if Sylphie knew anything about the dungeon, but she replied that she didn't, stating her only purpose was to be helpful to her master. Kaido returned to Hitsugaya, who was impressed by the 4 goblin cores he had collected on his first attempt. The next morning, Kaido's mother woke him up, but exhaustion had him completely frozen. She scolded him for overworking himself. Later, during a meeting with Katsuragi, she guessed he'd been dungeon diving due to his sore muscles. He insisted he'd just started intense bodybuilding training, wanting to build muscle. Katsuragi wasn't convinced, teasing that he didn't look particularly suited for the physique. At school, Kaido shared with his friends about his goblin hunting exploits. They were incredulous he managed to defeat one, but he brushed off their disbelief, stating his newfound confidence would take him even deeper into the dungeon. Kaido continued slaying goblins, reaching level 10 and being amazed by the significant boost in his stats. He then acquired a powerful new skill called God's Blessing, bestowed upon those favored by the gods. This skill amplified his stat increases with every level up, depending on the god's affection for him. Overjoyed at finally having an overpowered skill, he started bowing to Sylphie, convinced it was linked to her presence. He grabbed her hand, expressing his gratitude for meeting her, and she happily responded, cherishing her caring master. They encountered a glowing skeleton that Kaido attributed to his god's blessing. Sylphie erected a barrier, protecting them from the skeleton's attacks. Kaido swung his new weapon, but it seemed to have little effect on the durable creature. He instructed Sylphie to unleash her divine lightning, which swiftly defeated the skeleton, leaving behind only a core. Kaido was disappointed, expecting a rare item drop. Sylphie mentioned feeling hungry, and Kaido noticed the red hue of the core. He initially considered its potential value, but ultimately decided to feed it to Sylphie. Later, when asking Hitsugaya about the core's worth, he was stunned to learn it was worth over 2 million yen. Recognizing his distress over losing a valuable item, Hitsugaya reassured him that another glowing skeleton might appear. That night, Kaido couldn't shake off the thought of the lost fortune, but also knew Sylphie deserved a reward for her constant help. He reflected on how she had transformed him from an ordinary nobody into a capable adventurer. Although he was ready to face the 3rd floor, the fear of encountering multiple monsters loomed over him. The next day, Kaido told Sylphie he needed to fight alone for a while. This worried her, making her wonder if she had done something wrong or if he no longer needed her. Kaido quickly reassured her, explaining that he planned to enter the 3rd floor of the dungeon but wanted to become stronger on his own first. He didn't want to rely on Sylphie completely. He emphasized that he trusted her deeply and saw her as a little sister rather than just a servant. Sylphie was touched by his words, feeling incredibly lucky to have him as her master. Suddenly, a goblin appeared. Kaido asked Sylphie to let him handle it this time, but ended up getting injured in the process. He had to buy an expensive healing potion from Hitsugaya, leaving him completely broke. However, he knew he needed new equipment and magic cores for Sylphie if he wanted to reach the 3rd floor. The next day, Kaido headed back to the 1st floor to hunt slimes. While talking about his plans with his friends, Katsuragi overheard him, but Kaido managed to cleverly change the subject, making her think they were discussing something else entirely. He successfully gathered a bunch of cores and prepared to enter the 3rd floor. But just then, Sylphie sensed a silver slime. Kaido immediately attacked it with his spray gun, but the creature tried to escape. Sylphie quickly intervened, using her divine lightning to defeat it. The slime dropped a devil-class servant card, leaving Kaido wondering whether to use it. He had always dreamed of having both a god and a devil by his side, so he decided to take the chance. With a flash of light, a girl named Lukelia appeared before him. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Write in the comments if you want to see more of this anime on my channel. And this video ends. Have a good day.